Background and history. We'll begin by defining microplastic. Microplastic is extremely small pieces of plastic debris in the environment resulting from the disposal and breakdown of consumer products and industrial waste. Macroplastic is relatively large pieces of plastic, especially in the marine environment. Synthetic plastic was invented in 1907, and mass production of plastic began after World War II. Production of plastic has only increased since then, and our society has become heavily dependent on it, as you can see in this graph. Plastic produced on land is reaching oceans through agricultural runoff, natural disasters, lack of recycling of single-use plastics, littering, and the garbage disposal methods that vary by country. Plastic's threat to marine life has been studied since the 1970s. Our society's use of plastic bags, packaging, microbeads in cosmetics, and microfibers in clothing is contributing to the micro and macroplastics found in oceans and shorelines.
The issue of micro and macroplastic and its impact on the planet and marine environments. Micro and macroplastic has been a threat for nearly 50 years, less than 2 decades after the rise of commercial plastics production. Both macro and microplastic debris are ingested by marine animals, which then other marine animals translate the debris for food. This leads to biomagnification of organic polluted substances within marine animals. It may also damage the stomach of animals or cause them to stop feeding. An example of the issues marine environments are facing to this day because of macro and microplastic is the issue of plastic with sea turtles. Sea turtles will commonly mistake plastic bags for jellyfish, which is one of their primary food sources. Ingestion of the plastic can be fatal for the turtles because the plastic can become lodged in their esophagus and cause future feeding problems. Plastic debris can also become wrapped around the turtle, restricting movement and development growth. It is estimated that plastic pollution harms around 100,000 sea turtles and other marine animals each year. Looking at the big picture, a 2014 study estimated a minimum of 5.25 trillion particles of plastic weighing around 270,000 tons in marine environments. Plastic is a huge threat to marine environments and it is crucial to take the right steps to save the environment.
Some possible solutions to micro and macroplastic pollution include reducing the use of single-use plastics such as plastic bags, water bottles, straws, cups, utensils, dry cleaning bags, and takeout containers. Properly recycling, as just 9% of plastic is recycled worldwide, and recycling reduces the amount of new plastic in circulation. Participating in or organizing a beach or river cleanup. Waterways often become polluted, and even though you may live far from the ocean, waterways are connected, and thus trash can make its way to the ocean through streams and rivers. Avoiding products containing microbeads or tiny plastic particles. Microbeads can be found in face scrubs, toothpaste, and body washes. And supporting organizations that address plastic pollution, such as Plastic Bank. Plastic Bank operates in poor countries, allowing people to buy items in a store with plastic they collected. In his TED Talk, Ted Katz says, "The very last thing we need to do is clean the ocean. Very last." While this may seem absurd, he provides justification through a hypothetical scenario. If you were to walk into a kitchen, sink overflowing, water spilling all over the floor, soaking into the walls, you have to think fast. You're in a panic. You've got a bucket, a mop, a plunger. What do you do first? Why don't we turn off the tap? It would be pointless to mop or plunge or scoop up the water if we don't turn off the tap first. Why aren't we doing the same for the ocean?
The world without microplastics in the marine environment. The effect on the marine habitat. The waters of oceans and seas would become much clearer due to less light scattering of microplastics. Marine plant life would thrive because of higher ability of light. Plankton would be more effective at cycling CO2 and oxygen due to increased rates of photosynthesis. Marine habitats as a whole would be healthier. The effect on marine life. Without microplastics in the ocean, fish and marine life populations would likely increase. Less marine life would be born with defects or die before maturing and reproducing. There would be an overall increase in marine life health up the food chain as toxins being cycled decrease. There may be risk of overpopulation of some species most affected by negative effects of microplastics in the ocean, unbalancing marine ecosystems. The effect on non-marine life. Humans would be healthier, especially those whose diets largely consist of marine animals. Animals that eat marine animals would be healthier due to a decrease in toxins and microplastics cycled through the food chain. In theory, animal populations would increase as there would be lower concentration of toxins in prey animals. The world would be better as a whole.